Hi guys, today I bring you another review, a very important review for me because it's the first requested review that I received, and I haven't been paid or have any profit out of this. It's completely on my own, it's my honest opinion because I want to give it. I'm not being paid or anything like that by any person involved in this. The book is called Dalia-16, Pétalos en la red, or in English, Dalia_16 petals on the web, I assume. The book is completely in Spanish, but I want to review it here because I think it has very easy way of writing, so it would be okay if you are a more or less medium reader in Spanish, and I think it could be useful for you. So, what is this book about? Dalia-16. Sorry, I'm going to use the original title because I think it's better, but I will write to you over here the title and the author so you don't get confused. This book is about a girl named Clara, as me, who has suffered a very important emotional trauma, a very important um, event in her life, and it's that her friend, her best friend, has died. So she has to overcome the loss, and in this process, she discovers that her friend had like a life online different from the one she had offline. So in this story, you met Clara, that she is trying to overcome this pain of losing her best friend, and then she has to overcome this tragedy. So what she does is writing to her friend, like letters, and as well she starts investigating these relationships her friend had with the internet in a I think it was like a chat or something like that, like a social internet space, and tries to discover who knows her friend and why and what's going on in there. So in this book, what I really like about this book is that it treats the idea of, or the fact that young adult people, or teenagers to be fair, teenagers go inside these internet platforms, and there's a risk in that. But she does it. The author does it in a really interesting tone. It's like it has a message, and it's treating really hard topics such as I told you, internet and death. But also it does it in a very like interesting way. It doesn't. It's not a boring book. It's very fast-paced book with a lot of mystery in it. So it engages the reader. It has a message, but it doesn't try to print it on every page. And I really love how she treats the mystery. I really love how careful the author is when she has to discuss these topics, because they are not easy topics. Death is not an easy topic, and neither these virtual realities that maybe teenagers are more vulnerable to. So it's really interesting to see how caring and how touching at the same time this author managed to be discussing these topics, and also how she maintains the mystery, because the mystery for me was a very important element in the book, and sorry, and it's also one of the most interesting elements for me. So what she does is she delivers you information in almost every chapter. but it doesn't give you a tons every single time. So they give you little pieces, so you have to put them together. It's like, oh, this happened like this. No, someone else said other things. So what's going on? Is the reader the one who has to be picking up the pieces of the past of Clara's friend and try to put the pieces together to solve this mystery? The fact about the internet or virtual reality is also interesting in the style of writing. You are reading this book, and suddenly you see this like computer format, like conversation format, when you enter to a chat and start to talking. So someone says like the nickname, and then what they say. So I really adore this change because it's fresh. I didn't find in my reader experience. I barely find this kind of change of register inside the books, but I consider it very, very important because in this case, a lot of what happens online. So if you want to give this sense of being online with the character in front of the computer and trying to discover what's going on, you really need to reflect that. And one of the easiest and most compelling ways, just write them down as you are inside this computer service or program, or how you wanted to call it. And I really like it because it's very refreshed. It's like you had a really important chapter, very hard in discussing normal life for Clara and her overcoming with her life after this. And then you need a break, so this works as a trigger for more action and also as a break for the reader to stop thinking about the descriptions or the reflection that the character does. Also, another point of view that I really love, another aspect that I really love about this book in particular, is how the author managed to how it's called, how the author managed to deal with music. Clara and her friend loved music, so there are bits in which the main character decides to listen to a certain music. So it's really known music. It's like today's sort of music. So you can definitely check it out or listen into your I don't know, music device that you have. So for me, for example, that I really like the music that is, I mean, that sometimes appears in this book. I was reading the book while listening the same music, so it gives the reader a more interactive role to play. It's a different experience because basically you have a soundtrack to listen to sometimes when you find these tracks. So I think it's a very interesting experience because the author plays with the reader in the sense that he or she is living the same story. You've seen the messages, like chat messages, you've seen the music now. It's very interactive idea that she's dealing with, and I really love that. In the same way, I love how the plot twist affects the character and the story. There's a very important plot twist near the end that at the beginning is very blurred and confusing, but then it's like, oh, of course, and this is why this happened before. So it's really interesting to see how she decides to deliver certain information in certain points. And when you reach this point, it's like, oh, of course, and it gives you another additional information that maybe changes a little bit of what you may thought at the beginning. Uh, I don't know. I'm checking my notes, but it's just I was really happy to receive this copy. As I said, I'm not being paid for this, but I was happy because I could explore books that, I mean, I'm a little bit older than the characters in this book, but these kind of books in relationship when what is discussed about online life, for teenagers. It's very important, I believe, because everything starts as a game, but sometimes you need to be aware of what is being online and what kind of things you can do or can't do. I really like this book especially because if it's targeted for being a like a school read, I really love how she develops this idea, okay, about teenagers and internet and so on, but she develops it in a way that is not boring. It's very important that above all it's very face pass and engaging for the reader. So I really love that, and I think she did it with very, very, very special care, which is good. And if you want to give it a try, I think it's on Amazon. I don't know, give it a try. I hope you really like it. And no worries, I will let you down below the information about the book. I will let you as well my social media as always, and the Twitter of the author, who is always very active on Twitter. So if you manage to read it, she will love it, I'm sure. Bye.